Hey all, here are OS Reviews. Today we're taking a closer look at an interesting power bank called the FP-3. It sells in a kit that's under 40 bucks and includes two of these kind of modular power banks, which each have a 3,200 milliamp hour capacity. So not the largest in the world. The emphasis here is on portability because this thing is definitely inspired by the shape of an Apple AirPod. So it takes up very little space in your pocket as you're traveling, but can also be easily attached onto the side of your phone to give you that top up, but not get in the way of you still using the device with that power bank attached magnetically. So kind of an interesting system, and then you can just dock it into this base when you are at home just to give it a quick top up, and then you'll be ready to go as well. And in particular, again, that magnetic system that is attached both to the cables as well as to the power bank is pretty neat. It allows you to charge multiple devices and securely locks it into place, and it also offers up to 10 watts of fast charging. So this is going to be decent in terms of quickly topping up or giving you some extra juice, even if technically there are faster chargers out there these days powered by GaN or gallium nitride. But still, this is sufficient for what it is and can also be attached onto a keychain. So in the box, we get quite a few goodies, including the aforementioned charging dock or base, and this is where you can put the kind of modules onto it to give them a quick charge. And even without being plugged into the wall, there are some LED lights that can give you a quick status of whether there's still power remaining. And it's a pretty strong magnet as well, so if you want to put this base even on the wall like this and mount it, it can still attach the battery without really falling out, as you can see there. And then here's what it looks like if I have two of those pods both in place. We get some 3M sticky pads, as aforementioned. If you want to stick this really onto a wall or onto a mirror, you can go ahead and do that. We have one of these kind of keychain adapters, and then we'll find also another cable here that can be used for charging other devices. And so essentially how this works is we get all of these different adapter tips that you would plug onto your device. So for example, we have a Type-C port here, which is standard for most Android devices. Here for Lightning, that's going to be for iOS devices like iPhones and iPads. One which is going to be a full-size USB Type-A port, and another which is going to be a slightly older micro USB style port. I'm just going to attach this onto my phone's USB port, snap it into place. It looks like this, so not too obtrusive. And now if I want to actually charge my phone, all I need to do is use this little module or capsule charger, and then it will just basically connect onto this port here on the bottom. Give it a bit of a twist just to kind of lock it into place. So this part is actually now using the kind of screws. So if we actually unhinge it, you can see that's the part that's coming out a little bit, the thread. There's also some LED status lights on the capsule itself that tells you if there's a bit of juice remaining. As you heard there, the charging has started. It tells us around 32 minutes until the charging of our phone battery will reach 100%. So it works just like any other power bank. Untwist it, and then the battery here, of course, will stop charging. And then obviously now we have this little dongle attached onto our phone, so it might not be super handy to always take this out and then plug it back in. And so as a result, they've also given you that second USB cable designed to still work with your device even without removing that dongle. So say I'm now at home and I want to charge up my smartphone, I can just plug this side into the wall, and then I can still use this magnetic system to then suck onto the bottom of my phone. And now I've added kind of a wireless or really a magnetic charging cable onto my phone as well, and I can keep on using this little proprietary system that is integrated into this extra charging and syncing cable as well that also supports data transfer. What it does mean though is that these little adapters, which are magnetic, are going to be super important, so you can't lose these. Just when you get them out of the box, immediately plug it into the devices that you're planning on using. Although one slight downside here, of course, being that if you have a ton of devices that you're trying to charge, this system is only going to work again with these particular parts. So maybe they can also sell these as optional accessories if you want to extend on the number of devices where you want this ecosystem to work with. We do also get another accessory in the form of this round disc, which can be plugged into the power bank. Essentially, if you want to charge the power bank using a standard USB port, if for some reason you don't want to use this dock or bring this dock when you're on the go. Now, if we briefly return to the design of this, again, it is super reminiscent of the Apple AirPods. In fact, here's a side-by-side comparison with regular AirPods. They would be virtually indistinguishable from one another. So perhaps if you are someone that does also use AirPods, just to kind of make these a little bit easier to recognize and hard for you to grab something wrong by accident, they, I think, could have made the color of this a little bit different, maybe turned it to a red color or a black color that would be easier to distinguish and prevent any kind of accidental errors if you're trying to grab something something in a hurry, you might accidentally have brought the wrong thing. And then one other thing is, even though the size here is super compact and they have plenty of I/O using its adapters, I think they could still have maybe integrated a full-size USB port onto one of the sides, and that could have meant that you can also use it a little bit more easily if you don't want to use its existing accessories. A few closing remarks. I also like the fact that the dock actually gives us two USB Type-C ports, so you can plug it onto either side to charge it up depending on your setup and still make it look relatively clean. So that is more or less it as far as our quick hands-on look at this Capsule Power Bank charging system. Overall, it has a kind of clever design, I have to say, with how everything fits together either using magnets or using screws, and it does also provide you with sufficient juice to get you a few extra hours of utility out of your phone before you reach home. It's not really meant as a endurance champion or really a super road warrior type of power bank. As long as you are using this just for regular kind of day-to-day use, maybe when you're getting to the office or maybe when you're commuting back home, this might be an interesting gadget to consider. So you can check out more details if interested in the links down below, but for now that's been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews.